YouTube? My name is Ty with the Dividend Stock King here with another video. Today we're looking at my recurring investments. Um, First of all, I'm not getting financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You invest on your own risk. I do a recurring investments every Friday, okay? And I just decided to do this a while ago because I was buying ETFs every 2 weeks. I feel like, well, I'm kind of missing out buying it every 2 weeks because I can't catch a dip, or I thought the share would go faster buying it weekly. So this is my recurrent investments list. You see, it was in total investments over $2,000. I've been doing this for a while, so meaning that I set this thing up, right? I did $2,000. Now, granted, well, I'm gonna show you where I invest in first, right? Here's Here is my list. And you see Coney is $10, Misty is 15, TSLY is 5, Alti is 10, and YMAX is 5. And I chose these ETFs because Misty is a beast. So that'll probably never change. $15 a week. And let's look at Misty real quick. And you click on it, it shows you when I first started this last year. I started this last year, September 2024. Right now we're in July 24th. Owned up to the date real quick. Today is July 24th, correct? That's July 24th. So it's been over, 10 months, September, October, November, December, 9 months of doing this. And it shows you that you invested $60 last month and $460 or 19 shares since your first order was September 24th. So I've gained 19 shares just by doing $15 a week. Now, $15 a week won't get you a full share, but over time it will compound. You invest by next September, I have put $580 into Misty. Now, it's much easier to do it on a weekly basis versus just slamming $580 in the account. It's very hard for me to do that. Wife and kids, working bills. So I can't just slam in $500 to Misty, but I can buy it slow. And buying it slow works as well. So you see, my last order was July 18th. My next is tomorrow. And my next after that is August 1st. And remember, in August, we get paid in 2025. In August, we paid twice for Misty, right? And there's 5 Fridays in the month of August. So they'll take an additional $15 out, right, of my payment. So that's Misty. Coney, I wanted to get to 1,000 shares. I've hit 1,000 shares, and I was gonna stop buying Coney, but Coney right now is $9.11, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a nice dividend this coming Friday over $700. I thought about putting that into something else or not buying them on Coney, but I said, you know what? My average cost is $10.50. It's $9. That's $700. Give me a boatload of shares at a cheap price. I'm gonna take advantage of the dividend payment. So I did this October 25th. That was at $13.99, the price. I invested $40, and you see, last month at $315, I got 32 shares since my last order of this. So again, they're doing $10, Coney, 15 in Misty, 5 here, 5 there. It adds up, right? And it's done behind the background. It's done without you thinking about it. They just do it for me. All right, so let's look at Tesla. Tesla, I'm doing $5 a week. I started back in October as well, and back then it was $11. Now it's $7.50. So it also helps you cost dollar average because you're buying it every week at a lower price. It kind of lowers it down. I'm doing $5 tomorrow, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. And $205, or I got almost 20. So by tomorrow I have 20 shares. So total that I've been doing it. You invest $200 last month, 250, or 19 shares since your first order. So I've added almost 20 shares of Tesla without me even doing anything. So I'll do it like that. Look at the monster as was Alti. Alti is the monster. Now this is the big one. This is the big one. Alti, I've been doing this $10 a week in Alti since April of 2024, right? So last year, so it's been almost a year and a half. So this April been a year, May, June, July. So it's been what, 15 months? It's been 15 months since I've done this. I keep doing it, right? My first order placed, that's a back when it was $18. That was back was paying monthly. So that's how long I've been invested in Alti. I've been Alti from the beginning. I've been an Alti fan from the beginning. I'm not an Alti fan in June, July. In August, I've been Alti fan when it wasn't even popular. Okay, as you see here in my recurring investments, I was buying Alti back then. So last month, out of the $40 and 655 or 75 shares since last year. Okay, so I added 75 shares of Alti, right? And then by next April, I put $1,000 into ULTY. Again, I'm only doing $10 a week. Then the price is $6 and change. So every week I get a share and it's a little bit less, a little bit more than that every week. So I get about damn near 5 shares a month. And I still buy this and get the dividend. Sometimes I reinvest it, sometimes I don't. But I'm just showing you what I do, recurring investments. I love the recurring investments because it's just something I have to sacrifice. If I want the income, I have to sacrifice. And I'll make a video pretty soon how I'm able to do this is because when you're investing and you see when you're making 250 a week and you're making $800 from one ETF and you see you make $1,200 in 1 week, when you see that money coming in, you your behavior should change. I'm not saying it will change, but it should change where you want to get $2,000, $3,000, right? You want to get more income. Now, the stuff that's of the world, the cars and clothes and spending $500 on this and $1,000 on that or buy a sound system, you think in your mind, why am I put 3 grand in a sound system that makes me no money? Why not throw 3 grand into Alti and make passive income, right? I'm at a point now where if I'm older now, but if I warrant a sound system in my car or rims on a car or whatever, right? Something that's very expensive that does not bring that's the liability. And liability means it doesn't bring any income. So if I'm buying liability, I wouldn't use my capital. I would use the asset money to buy it. I would use the dividend money to buy it. But then it calls you mind, shoot, do I really want to take out 3 grand to buy a sound system in my car when I could put that money back to work for me and make even more money? So when you're an investor, it does that. In the recurring investments, I struggle because I had to pause some weeks, and you could pause it. You could pause it for the following week. A few weeks out of the year, I had to pause it. Stuff came up, I had to pause it. Pause. I might pause Misty and YMAX. I kept Coney and ULTY. Or I paused everything but ULTY. The ULTY pays every week, so I kept one. You go ahead, you can pause one, but that's what I done back then. So yeah, that's what I did. I encourage anyone to do a recurring. You could do $1. You do $5. You could do a few dollars, right? Do a recurring investment, and as you see the numbers over time, you're invested, and you see my total invested since I started is $2,000. I don't have 2 grand laying around to slam into a brokerage account, but I can over time. You can do it. You saw where I started. I started April of last year on one ETF, and I started the rest of 4 of them in October of last year. So roughly, it's been about 8 or 9 months of me doing it consistently. I've invested $2,000, and I did it after I didn't know I didn't put the money, put in the brokerage, and do it. It done automatically. So this end of my video is about recurring investments. You see, I've got 2,000. I will take Coney off and put another ETF there, but as of right now, I'm gonna keep it. I think once Coney, I think I'm gonna start buying Coney once it passed my uh, cost basis, which is come here, Coney. Right now, Coney, I got my 1,000 shares. My cost base is 1050. So once it hits my 1050 cost basis, I won't buy them on Coney. I don't mind buying Coney at 912. I don't mind getting a dividend Friday and reinvesting buying Coney. Because all it's going to do is just lower my average cost and get me more cheaper shares, right? So, but once it passed my average cost of 1050, or 1040 or 230, whatever the number can change. Once it passed that mark, I'm not buying anymore. I wouldn't need to because my goal was 1,000 shares of Coney. Once it hit $12, $13, there's no reason for me to buy it. I just keep the 1,000, 1,100 shares and just ride that income, harvest the income. But that's my plan with Coney right now. I am Ty with Dividend Stock King. Thanks for watching.